and they found him crushed to death under all the board games. Seems about right, honestly. This is going to be my unboxing and rambling for Assassin's Creed. And yes, I still sound a bit under the weather. Got a frog in my throat. I feel fine. Well, mostly fine. But that is neither here nor there with this. And by the way, these are the backs of the boxes, just for the record, not to avoid the glare. And that's because, given an option between, well, this versus this, what would you choose? Let's get some of these plastic wraps off the box. Let's go through all of this. Let's talk about the game, talk about all the usual stuff. By the usual stuff, I mean none of the usual stuff, because nothing about these videos is going to be, well, Top Shot first. In case I didn't do it already, I probably did it already. I'll throw a Top Shot in. That is neither here nor there. But let's go ahead and show you this box. Let's get them plastic off and then show you the front and back of the box. Now, keep in mind, I just covered Monster Hunter World, and one of my problems with it, which, again, I like the game. If you back the game, you're getting a good game, but I did not like the art at all. Not one little bit. And that's because I can't stand it when a game puts video game assets, or movie assets for that matter, into a game. Make the art match the game. Now, there are rare exceptions. There are going to be times where I've seen it done and done well, but like I said, rare exceptions. So, this is going to be the back of the box for Assassin's Creed. This box is a monster, by the way. And this is going to be the front of the box. One is more classy, absolutely. But look at this art. I just want to show you the art again. Like, look at that. That's pretty cool, right? That is good art. And the video game always had good art. But if you attempted to pull assets from the video game into your board game, well, it wouldn't look quite as nice. That's the way these things tend to go. Okay, let's see how hard this is going to be to take off, because this is a beast. Whoa. Assassin's Creed. Who remembers, because I remember, and so does Pepperidge Farm for that matter, but who remembers? Ooh, we got stickers. Stickers for this likely campaign-esque style game. I can't remember if it's campaign or legacy-ish. Well, I mean, stickers would seem to imply legacy-ish, but maybe it's campaign light with stickers, who knows. But this is very much a first world problem, but I do like my rulebooks pristine. That said, my rulebooks often get not pristine on their own. So let's go through the rulebooks, let's go through things. But who remembers, back to my point, who remembers when Assassin's Creed launched on Kickstarter? I need to have some coffee, give me a second here. And they said, it's going to be showing up in 2021. And people lost their minds. Like, 2 years out? That's insanity. How can you do that? And yet it's here. And many games that told you they'll be launching in a year, well, they're not here. So, let's go through this rulebook. Start by reading this booklet. Ooh, you see? More art. The art in this game is great. The art from Assassin's Creed is great. So we have Leonardo's tank, we have introduction, golden rules, and this is going to be on page... Are they not numbered? Are your pages not numbered? Triton Noir, I'm so disappointed in you. How do you have not numbered pages? Such a simple oversight. Go to page blank. Am I missing something? I'm not missing something. Is this numbered? This is numbered. Okay, so we got the campaign booklet's numbered. This rulebook's not numbered. So I'm going to have to do this. I'm literally going to just do this a slow way. Okay, you're going to have to suffer through their lack of numbers. You know, King of Average in his indexes, he doesn't even get to the numbered or not. So, 1, 2, 3. Well, we have additional rules. I'll ignore additional rules. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It looks like 9-ish pages, which means we have to times 2, of course. 18 pages of what looks like fairly easy to read content. Now, for myself, this is likely going to be even easier because I've played V-Commandos. For those who don't know, Assassin's Creed is going to be based on V-Commandos, using the same core system, integrating a massive IP, and delivering it to you in a game that hopefully is amazing. I say hopefully because I have no idea. It could be better or worse, and I like V-Commandos. Although looking at the art here already does have me far more pulled in, because when I play V-Commandos, every tile is just another tile. It doesn't really matter to me. But when I'm looking at this square here with this tower and these rooftops, I'm visualizing a whole different experience because I've gone through it. I've run across the rooftops in Assassin's Creed. Do you remember when Assassin's Creed first came out? Assassin's Creed, this, that. Let's take a look at the campaign booklet. There was an Assassin Memory Creed noise where you, like, pull back from, you know, what was his name? Desmond? Oh my gosh, it's so long. Desmond Miles, I think was his name. The original Assassin's Creed. It's been a long time. It's been a long... I can't sing normally, let alone this voice. Let's go that out. So we have our player boards. We know our dual player boards with our, they all look exactly the same. That's fine. They don't have to look different. No one said they do. I'm assuming it's the characters that are different. Let's keep putting things away. The rule book, we have some missing tokens here. I have to assume they are in the box. We'll get to that soon enough. And then more of these and more of these. Let's take a look at the punch boards. Okay, before we get to the miniatures. And then, of course, expansions. So, punch boards. You see, look at this. Look at this tile. If you have played Assassin's Creed, tell me that tile. Tell me the idea of running around and that tile. Watch, I'm just going to go ahead and set up a scenario. And you tell me that you're not pulled in. So we got this, we got that. Let's pull in something else. Let's pull in, 2 of these. And then let's grab some water. Let's grab some water. I want some water. Here we go. Water, water, and perhaps a rooftop area. There we go. Okay, we're going to go ahead and set up a bit of a scenario, putting these off to the side. Let's go ahead, and side is a relative term. You can probably still see them in the shot. It's all good. No, I'm peeling my stickers. Okay, let's go ahead and set up a scenario, and just tell me you're not intrigued or pulled in by the concept of playing this game as I set this up. If you are someone who has watched, or not watched, if you're someone who's watched Assassin's Creed, that's a whole different story. You probably are less interested, because you should be less interested. There's been no good video game movies, I mean, Mortal Kombat recently was actually not bad, versus Monster Hunter World was very, very, very bad. In fact, I mentioned in a video I was going to be watching it, and then people said, I'm so sorry, and I wished they had, the video only went up after I watched it, but I wished I had known beforehand, because I am so sorry that I watched it. That was not a good game. So, not a good video. Let's go ahead and put this over here, like so, and like this. And look at this. This is what you're going to be doing over here. We're going to actually leave this set up and grab some miniatures, because let's go ahead and do that as well. This is just a scenario. Now, there's no numbers. I find this interesting. There are no numbers on the tiles like there are. Ooh, I like this one. Let's go ahead with that. There are no numbers on the tile the way they are in V-Commandos. So it is likely slightly different in that sense, but either way, let's find out. Okay, we got this over here. These are going to be like some north-south indicators or whatever they are. And then we have a whole chunk of miniatures. So let's go through this. I don't even know how to do this. I'm trying to think the best order of this, but for right now, I'm just having fun. So give me a second while I'm always having fun, but give me a second while I set up some things on the board. We got a nice little treasure chest. We're going to put that over there in the corner. We have some assassins over here. Ooh, you know what? I'm going to grab this one over here. There's a bunch of assassins, but I'm going to grab this one over here. In fact, let's go ahead and show you up here. That's not going to focus because of the background. There we go. Look at that. Okay, so we got that assassin. We're going to toss him into our rooftop over here. He's on the roof over here. And let's throw some guards. Here we go. There's some guardsmen attacking the tower over there. We have a ladder that's going up to over here. I'm just playing setup at this point. Our ladder's going up to the rooftop, which I always wanted the 3D roofs for this game, but did not get them, unfortunately. But don't worry, we do have larger 3D towers and stuff. So we have some guardsmen, some people. We're going to go ahead and put some people into this patrol area. You know what? They should probably put a nobleman in this area over here. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just playing around over here. And then let's get some archers, some people on the rooftops, okay? Because remember these people? We're going to put some enemy people on the rooftops over here. Look at that guy. He's pretty cool. Okay, he's got his little crossbow, so he's going to be hard to deal with. He's on a rooftop trying to make his way over to us. Remember how there's always people on the rooftops in this game? And we're going to put this over here, ignoring the pieces that are dropping. Oh, annoying pieces that are dropping. And boom. There we go. Tell me that isn't intriguing. I don't know what's going to happen in this. I mean, we'll go through the tower soon as well. Is the tower in here? Let's find out. If the tower's in here, we might take out... Here's one of the pieces. Oh, just dropping some pieces here of the pieces that were knocked from the punch board. We got this over here. And then we got... Do we have a tower in here? I don't know. I'm going through this out of order. I don't see the tower in this box. So it might be in another box. We'll come back to it. But there is going to be a tower. We'll get to all of that. But this looks cool. I want to play this. I legit want to play this now. The miniatures are gorgeous. Let's go ahead and start continuing to go through this now that I've sat up and played a little bit with my Assassin's Creed universe. I do wonder how conveniently these will go back in the box. I do wonder where this box will go and whether or not I will be crushed to death in it. Let's push. I don't even know how to deal with this stuff. Let's go ahead and leave this over here. And let's go through a few choice miniatures of this. So I already showed you an archer. There's going to be a lot of repeats here, so it's going to be a little bit easier to go through. We went through the archers. I went through a ladder. We have the treasure chest. We have, oh, there we go. Here's spots for those little, pieces. Did I lose more of them? I thought there were more of them. Probably drop things. I'll have to make sure to go over the floor before I'm done here to make sure that I don't actually lose things. I don't know what these bases are at all. I do know what those bases are. And we'll go through the assassins. So let's go through all the assassins here because there are a few different options. We have our pikemen. We have our armor men. Here, let's go ahead and show you some. So here we go. Let's just go to a few miniatures up here like this. So there we go. There's one. That pikeman, halberdman. The detail on these is pretty sharp, all things. I mean, I was going to say all things considered, but I'm not allowed to say that anymore. I have been banned from saying that by myself, really. Not for you, by myself. We're going to put this back here. We have our archers, like I said. We have our noblemen, or whatever you want to call it. These are likely going to be the crowds of people that Ezio can mingle with. You know, if you have a crowd of 3 people or 4 people, you can mingle with them. We have this intimidating looking captain of the guards. I don't know who he is, but I don't want to mess with him, I'll tell you that much. Yeah, look at that guy. Okay. This is likely going to be a long unboxing. Here we have our courtesans. You know, these are going to be definitely parts of the crowds of people we can mingle with in the game. Yep. And we have a few. We have sailors we can mingle with. We have some other characters. I don't know who all the characters are that we can or can't mingle with. Whole lots of enemies. Let's go through some of the assassins. We'll cover the assassins and we'll move on to the next box. So here we go. One of the assassins. Then we have another assassin. These click in nicely, but also nicely enough that if you paint, by the way, that might be an issue. Yep, look at these. I mean, these look pretty cool. There we go. And then we have, is this an assassin? I don't know if this is an assassin or someone else. I mean, he looks pretty cool, but I don't know if he is an assassin or just another character of sorts. And then we have some more assassins. Just a chunk of assassins up here. Lots of stuff in this box. And now I need my plastic. Where did I put my plastic? Here we go. So, yeah. Assassin's Creed. I backed this game. I went all in because I shouldn't have. But I did get everything that I could. And that's going to be all the boxes here. And again, no reason to go all in. I did just do a video, well, recently, about why I went all in on Marvel United. And it comes down to I'm willing to be illogical about things I like. Now, it doesn't mean I don't believe I should always go all in. It's not in the point in the slightest. In fact, there's going to be another video coming. There's going to be a few videos. I always talk about these things. I like the subjects in general of why I do things, which might extrapolate to yourself and might not, but we'll see. But for myself, I'm going to have another video on why I go all in. These horses are cool. I'm going to have another video of why I go all in general. Here we go. Look at that guy. Look at that. That's pretty cool. And then I'm going to have another video on why Kickstarter is the best addiction. None of these things are contradictory in the slightest. There are logical reasons I go all in on some games. There are other games, like $800 worth of Marvel United, where I can't defend the reason past I want the miniatures. But, I mean, and this one borders it. This one definitely borders whether or not, like, is there a reasonable and conceivable chance that I will actually go through all the content in this game? In a different world, in a world in which I had less other games, or, you know, retired and played games all day, very possibly. This is pretty cool. This Scandola is pretty cool. But, again, these are hypotheticals that are harder to... It's hard to know whether you really would go all in, whether you really will experience all the content. People who back a few games and say, these are the games I'm going to experience everything, that's one thing. I don't do that. I back a lot of games. Some of them I do go through all the content. I'm spoiling my video because I'll go through it in another video. I'll talk about that another time. For today, let's talk about all of these envelopes. Ugh. Look at these, okay? This is going to be all the envelopes we have for the game. These are all going to be things. And, like, some of these have heft to them. Like, there's things in here. I don't know if it's cardboard. I don't think it's miniatures. Based on the thickness of that, it's going to be a very thin miniature. But we got lots of pieces of cardboard. Like, this one's got some nice heft. Just some stuff in there. I don't know exactly what, but you can see how some of them are thicker than others. And those ones are going to have all the goodies. So this is going to be the campaign content for the game. Do I dare open it? Stop. Wait before opening this envelope. Attend das por ouvrir certa envelope. Offe dación Ausschlag noch nicht. I'm gonna horribly embarrass myself here. No hablas esta sola hasta que se os indique. I should not be doing this. This is horrible. I can't speak other languages. I'm decent at English. Decent. Half decent. Other languages I am barely decent at. My Hebrew and Yiddish are not the worst, but also not the best. Ich kann verstehen a Sach besser than ich kann reden. Like, there's lots of small things I can say in other languages, but nothing crazy. Okay, let's go through some more stuff. We got this guy over here, okay? Look at that guy. Look at that guy. Look at that lion. Isn't he sweet? Doesn't he look like he's got dangerous teeth? And then look at this submarine, one of Da Vinci's stuff. They have a lot of Da Vinci's creations in this game. They're pretty cool. They added a bunch of things that I did. Again, like, it's interesting. The miniatures in this game pulled me in less than the art. Now, here's the problem we have, okay? I have a lot of different things. Here's our headquarters, which I assume is a box that will store things in. Let me just show you what you're seeing over here so you get an overhead shot of this box. This is what I have over here right now, okay? So all these things over here make me think that I shouldn't open them until I'm told to. I don't know that, but it's that little eyeball thing. That seems to indicate don't look until you're told. That's where we get the collection miniatures, and I'm not going to look until I'm told. Let's go ahead and put things back and go to the next box. So, Assassin's Creed, let's do a brief overview, because I do these ramblings, I just go over different things, I talk about different stuff, and then once in a while I'll get somebody who, like, comments, not enough information about the game, and I'm like, that's with great intent, but in case you want information about the game, let's go ahead, I'll timestamp down this below, information about the game. It's not going down nicely. Information about the game, for those who actually want it, is going to be as follows. Let's go ahead and put this in. Oh, I put this in backwards. That is not going on nicely. This is not going... There we go. Okay, information about the game, timestamp down below for those who want it. Assassin's Creed is going to be a stealth-based game, as you might imagine, because it is, after all, Assassin's Creed. It is based on the game series V-Commandos. V-Commandos has just recently had another Kickstarter. Another Kickstarter which hurts my soul because I can't understand which one I'm going to keep. I am only keeping one of these two systems. I say that with 90% confidence because they are too similar. I think they're too similar based on what I know about them to keep both. And ultimately, I will probably only keep one no matter how much I like the systems. And so to that end, Assassin's Creed is going to be the newer version of the system. Well, before V-Commandos relaunched with newer stuff. And it gives you a stealth-based system where you are going to have, commandos, or in this case, assassins, who are working together to run around a map, to do different things, to accomplish different objectives, and effectively try to outmaneuver the guards. When you move on to different tiles, you will perform stealth checks. Stealth checks, we're going to be basically going to like roll dice to see if they spot you. Different things will affect how likely you are to be seen. Different equipment and different things can perhaps change that, or perhaps completely eliminate a stealth check altogether. Keep in mind, I do know that, again, it's based on V-Commandos, but it's not the same game, so things I say about one may not actually be applicable or true, well, because they're different games. But past that, Assassin's Creed is going to have a giant tower, because, well, the video game had a giant tower, and there's no way you can be Assassin's Creed without a giant tower. It has been said that that is basically the way it works, so they're going to listen to that, and that makes sense. And we have these nice, I love it, by the way, I love it when games do this. But, so, Assassin's Creed, why? Oh, interesting, okay, cool. So, that is going to be the situation with Assassin's Creed. Past that, other things to note? Well, not really. I don't really have other things to note. It's that. I told you that. Oh, yeah, campaign-esque system. Campaign/legacy system in which you're going to have different things unlock as you go through different, well, whatevers. Let's cover these small boxes. I think that should cover everything you need to know about Assassin's Creed. There's going to be luck to it. There's going to be strategy to it. There's going to be video game IP stuff to it. It might be the best game you've ever seen. It might be the worst. It's not going to be the worst game you've ever seen because it's based on V-Commandos. It might be the best game you've ever seen. It might just be a very good game. I do not know. I imagine it's going to be a very good game, but how very good is a different conversation entirely. And with that, let's take a look at Ezio. Ezio the Assassin. Okay, so we got this extra miniature here, lots of Kickstarter extras. I have no clue what's going in retail. I mean, this box, there's no way this box can show up in retail in its actual form there. So we got Ezio Auditore. Ezio is going to be the second assassin, I think. We had Desmond Miles, who took over... Who did Desmond Miles take over? I don't remember who Desmond took over. I can't remember the character. Is it this one? Nope, we have Ezio. Why do you have two Ezios? Oh, that's right. So I think there was an early bird. If I recall the campaign correctly, there was an early bird. And then after the early bird, there was an all-in pledge. And so in order not to penalize the people who went early bird, they basically gave you 2 copies of Ezio the Assassin, which means this thing is screaming eBay all over it. So I'm not going to open that. For people who want an Ezio miniature, well, I'll put it up there for $972. Not actually $972. That would be crazy talk, unless, of course, the market's willing to pay it, in which case I will absolutely charge it. See, it's an interesting thing. I started to, I need to figure out how to sell some of my bigger box games. I used to go on, public groups and sell them, but the problem is when I do so nowadays, because more people recognize my name, ooh, nice dice, because more people recognize my name, it becomes a conversation. If I sell Assassin's Creed on, in the internets, I might have people being, oh, Alex selling Assassin's Creed, and it might turn to a conversation before I'm ready for it to turn to a conversation. Or sometimes I actually have it. Like, I have an extra copy of a game that I got from a friend, and I want to sell it for him, but I can't sell it for him because I'm actually keeping the game. And then people are going to be like, well, why are you selling the game? And I'm like, it's not mine, it's for a friend. And it turns into a whole conversation I don't want it to be turned into. Because people are going to be like, why are you selling the game when you said it's such a good game? I'm like, it is a good game. I like it. I'm keeping mine. These are nice dice. I don't know. People might not like them. There's an interesting look to them. Let me show you them over here. These have a marbleized look that almost looks like they're dirty. Looks like chocolatey. So it's interesting. I actually like it. It's very unique, but I can see people not liking it. Either way, that's me the dice. So my point is, I need to figure out a way to sell things online without it being a conversation, likely creating a fake profile or something, because, I mean, I can go on eBay. It's not like anyone knows I am on eBay. It's just, I like Facebook groups. Facebook groups are quick and easy, and usually if you price things fairly, like, it doesn't mean like what you paid for it. Fairly means market price. Then usually they'll go pretty quickly, because people like games. So, that's going to be that. We have our dice. That should have gone in this box. We have our Ezio the Assassin going in that box. We have our $972 copy of Ezio the Assassin. Let's do the tower. Now, I could be wrong. I thought there were 2 towers. Did I not buy a second tower? I need to look into this. I am 90% certain that I bought 2 towers. There were 2 towers in the game. There was one that was, again, given as the campaign was seeing a mid-campaign stall at one point, and so they kind of gave an extra tower as I can't remember if it was a stall or an apology. There was a reason they threw an extra tower in. It might have been because of the delay. I don't remember what it was. But they threw an extra tower in. But then there was also one you could buy. So there was a tower you could buy as well as a tower that you could, well, get for free. And to that end, I thought I had both of those towers. But perhaps not. And I say both towers because who doesn't want 2 copies of that tower? Who doesn't want 2 copies of this tower in your game? So here's the tower. See? Here's the tower going on top of the tower. It clicks in. Well, keep in mind, I don't know if I'm doing this the correct way. Does it need a correct way? It does. We need to put this one over here. Okay, cool. And let's see how... That's actually pretty good. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. I'm okay with that. Let's see how hard I have to shake this. There we go. That is not bad at all. I am very impressed. So you do not have to glue this tower, and you don't have to worry about it just falling off. That is good to know. We have our little thing up here. We're going to push in there. Excellent. We have this thing over here, which I don't know what it is. And we have this thing over here, which I don't know what it is. Do they go onto the tower, or they're just like accessories? Looks like they're accessories. So, I mean, this is cool, but oh, this needs to go... Here we go. I was going to say, that needs to go over here. Because you cannot have a tower without Ezio Auditore jumping off into the... Let's find our little Ezio miniature. Granted, this Ezio miniature, you know what? Maybe I'll go through the expansion. I'll wait till we go through the expansion, because this Ezio miniature is standing on something, which means he'd look completely off on this tower. So we're going to keep the tower. Let's keep it in the shot nicely over there, just so you can see it, with this little bale of hay right underneath. And we'll take this, and we'll dump this on the floor, because it doesn't need to be here. Cool. That was the tower. Moving on. So, there's going to be a few different boxes, because one of these was going to be more modern day, I believe. This is going to be the more modern day box. So, let's get into it. Let's go ahead and open this box first. I don't know which one to open first. They're all cool. So, this is going to be this box over here. Probably should take off the plastic so you have less glare, and then from there, we will cover what is in this box. Let's go ahead. Okay. And this is the English copy of the game, which is nice, because I prefer English, given my butchering of other languages. We got this, we got that. Okay, and now, opening the box. Oh wait, no, I told you the art. Art first. Here's the art. Look at that. Again, it looks cool. It means you can do video game art in a way that is a tribute to the video game Roma. Oh my gosh. Do you remember the games? When did you stop playing? In the comments down below. When did you stop playing, or when did you start playing and stop playing Assassin's Creed? For myself, I started with the original. I played up until Black Flag. I tried going back to Black Flag like 2 years ago. I got a PS4 and I got Black Flag and I put it on. At the time, ever since I've, been doing board games, I just have less time for video games. So I played like the original 3 or 4 games, and then in Black Flag I never got into it. I played 1, I played 2, I played 3, and there's like versions of 1. There's 111 or something like that. I can't remember the exact details. There's the American one, which I played that one. Black Flag was the pirate one. After Black Flag, I don't remember what was next. but I don't think I played that one. I briefly dived into the Egyptian one as well, and that's basically where I am with Assassin's Creed. I think it's an incredibly cool system. I mean, look at this. I just, look at this. If you played Assassin's Creed, tell me that isn't appealing to you. Tell me that this map, this board, it just looks cool. I don't know if they're going to run a second Kickstarter. I don't need more content for the game. Let's be very, very honest about it. But if they do more content, I have a hard time saying no. I do have a hard time saying no. The miniatures, the art, this is a game that I would love to get into. I would love to take it back to my family, to play this with my siblings, because we loved Assassin's Creed. It's such a great game. It's a game that got repetitive the more you played it, of course, but it was such a good system. There's a reason they keep putting out a game every single year. Let's go ahead and find a miniature over here and then put it on the tower. So, let's go ahead and put this over here, in case you want to see a general overview. And then let's go ahead and find a miniature who can jump off the tower, because we got a bunch of miniatures here. Let's find this one over here. Let's find one of the women. Okay, this looks like a nice miniature over here. So we're gonna go ahead and take her, and then we're going to go ahead and put her on the tower, because you have to do this. This is incumbent upon you to do if you play the game. I hope they have like another pile of hay. We go, whee! Some of you think I'm crazy. Other of you know it's the hawk. I like my toys. That's Assassin's Creed. So, let's go ahead and put this back. We're going to go ahead and take these miniatures, put that back. We are going to leave her in a respective box. Let's pull out some more miniatures. There are more miniatures. Looks like we got another female assassin with a mask. Look at the mask over there. Look at this mask. I already did that song. Can't do it again. Okay, that's going to be that. We have another assassin. We have these guards from Roma. Ezio Extra. I remember those characters. The little crossbows, the daggers, the shivs, the combat. I want to play Assassin's Creed. I don't have time. I do not have time. I don't have time for the board games. It's incredible. I'll show you both those, actually. This is going to be one of the Wolf's Hood or Lion's Hood fighters. Okay, we have this one over here. Like, they're cool miniatures in a cool game system. I mean, lots of repeated sculpts, so if you're someone who does not like repeated sculpts, like this entire box has basically a few assassin miniatures and then 2 sculpts. So, if you're someone who minds, well, then that's not so much for you. I wouldn't have minded a little bit more variation in terms of getting, like, the same type of figure, but with a drop more variation. But I do like the idea of being able to have, well, crowds of people, because this is Assassin's Creed, and crowds of the same soldier, having to deal with them. I'm looking forward to this game so much. Now, I am curious how it differs from V-Commandos. V-Commandos has a system where you draw miniatures, where you draw tokens from a bag, which even means that the new V-Commandos Kickstarter, you have to kind of be okay with the fact that you'll draw a token from a bag and proxy it with a miniature. The system is not built around that, so it's a different system entirely. Assassin's Creed, on the other hand, was built from the ground up to accommodate miniatures, which means it is a very different thing, and hopefully it is streamlined, hopefully it works well. I don't know, it's campaign driven. It's like very much campaign driven. You have books full of scenario setups, as opposed to like, here's 3 cards and set it up based on the cards. So, very different system. I am inclined to believe that I will like Assassin's Creed more. I could be wrong, because, oh no, look at this. Look at this. Again, another little thing in my box. Now, I say oh no, but the truth of the matter is, if I like this game, there's no way on earth it's not being all condensed into here. That's just the way it is. So that oh no is not for me. That oh no is really for the person who I sell this game to if I don't like it. Otherwise, this box is going in the garbage, because the art's nice, but it's too dark. I can't put it on a wall. We have more player boards, although different colors, so I wonder how that rule is. The Creeds versus the Crows. Was this player versus player Assassin's Creed? I can't remember that. Before you start, to play with this expansion, you must have played memories. Okay, introduction. This competitive expansion pits a small group of assassins against the Crows, a secret faction of Templars created by Cesare Borgia in a hypothetical. Oh my gosh, these characters! In a hypothetical series of competitions to gain control of a region of Veneto. 1 or 2 players control 2 assassins who will go against 2 Crows controlled by 1 or 2 opposing players. I forgot this was a thing. Player versus player Assassin's Creed. That is intriguing. I am very intrigued by it. Look at these characters. I miss Assassin's Creed, if it's not clear. I played a lot of video games. I just don't have time for them. Again, hypothetical worlds. My hypothetical universe consists of me having a lot more time to... It looks like a lot of these silica packets broke in this game. But we have some crows. Like, look at this. We have a tower with crows, a tower with that. Like, it's really very solidly done. Let's go ahead and put that there. And let's see what we have as far as stuff over here. Let's go ahead and take this out to get rid of the broken silica packet stuff. Oh, no. Oh no. See, we just got, like, this I'm talking about. We got these little food pellets over here. That is not food pellets. They are, well, I'm going to have to figure out where to put these in a way that they don't end up on the floor to be eaten by my children. Okay, we're going to go ahead and move these off to the side over here, where they will eventually get thrown into the garbage. Okay, we got some dice, some cards. I haven't gone through the cards. Did I just miss all the cards? Or were the cards all in boxes that I couldn't look through? That's probably it. So let's go ahead and take that opportunity to look through some of these cards. Now, some of you can go back and look at the unboxing and see the obvious point where I missed the cards. It's okay. I do that in an unboxing. It's all good. Or they actually were in boxes and it's not my fault. One or the other. But, cards. So, we have some just art. I like the art in this game. This is like, again, these are not video game stills. This is going to be art. I don't know if it's from the video game at different points in the video game, but it's just beautiful. Look at this. Is that... Oh my gosh. That says Caesar. Oh my gosh. This character. These cards, these characters. It's such a beautiful game. It really is a beautiful game. Sorry, I'm just obsessed. Look at that hand of dice. That's decent art. That's pretty decent art. Okay. So, that's going to be art from the video game. Let's cover some miniatures from the Crows expansion. Pitting expansions. Pitting characters versus characters. Where's Caesar? Okay, so here we have this guy, who you'll recognize from the video game. He's all proud and noble and whatever. Then we have some crows, just various other characters you have to fight against as you try to vie for control over Veneto or whatever it was. And then we have the automatons. I don't know what these are exactly. I believe they were designed by Stonemaier Games in their factory. You see now, I'm going to have like a bunch of people who thought that was funny, and I'm going to have a bunch of people corrected me like, nah, Stonemaier Games, it's not automatons, it's Autonoma Factory, not the same thing. This board game code guy doesn't know what he's talking about. I love the YouTube comments. I genuinely do love the YouTube comments. They are mostly an absolute joy to engage with, and the few times they aren't, they are amusing instead. Okay, well that's the damaged box. We're going to deal with that later. We'll figure out a solution. The solution is likely going to be, I keep the game, I bag all the miniatures into bags, because there's no way I'm putting them back into their specific slot every time I play, because that would be craziness. And then I just have a single large box that is larger than like 4 or 5. I mean, this thing, even condensed into this thing is the size of 1, 2, 3, 5-ish boxes, okay? That is not a Calyx Cube thing. That is top of a Calyx Cube thing. That may well I can't put it there if I bag things, because then things will go sideways. If I bag it, it's going to be very much in this orientation all the time. Now this, I believe, is the modern day expansion, or is there a 4th box? I don't know if there's a 4th box. We will have to see. So, no, this is the modern day expansion. Yep, there we go. Okay, got another silica packet, hopefully not crushed. Tokyo. This is where, if you recall playing Assassin's Creed, there were times where we actually jumped to modern day. Now, this was the expansion that I was least intrigued by. This is the expansion that I debated not getting. If they didn't have an all-in with it, I would not have gotten it, because I usually am an all-in person. But don't you mess with my immersion. And to that end, I don't know about you, but when I played Assassin's Creed, my least favorite part, no question whatsoever, was when I went back to like modern day times and played through like, you know, Desmond waking up and fighting whoever. I liked being in these mythical worlds. I play games to be in fantasy settings. That's one of the things I really enjoy. And playing games to fight against a bunch of like ghost soldiers or whatever they are doesn't really do it for me quite as much. Now there are going to be dogs. So we have some dog characters and whatnot. Dog miniatures, not characters. We're going to have these ghost characters. I can't remember how they function, but they look cool. But again, not what I'm looking for in my games. I want to play as Desmond. I want to play as Ezio. I want to play as... I mean, the amount of content. That's the thing that's crazy about this. What's absolutely crazy is if this game does well, if it's rated well, this can be a absolute money bag for them. Let's show you one character, then we'll move on and do post-game wrap-up. So this can be, well, that's going to be bent if I pull that. This is going to come out bent if I'm not careful. See, you kind of want to pull this one out by the sword, but if you do that, you're going to have a bent sword. But yeah, this is an absolute cash cow for them if this game does well. Because, I mean, think through practically. We have, what do they have in this campaign? They have Desmond and Ezio, and I think that's all they really have. The amount of content they have, they can go Egyptian next, they can go Pirates next, they can go, American Revolution. All the content the video game has, they can go into each of those worlds. In like, every Kickstarter can be a little different. You can have the American Revolution and Black Flag Pirates all together in one Kickstarter. You can then have, let's throw this here. I really like this tower. I'm sorry. I'm going to leave this tower here while I talk towards the end. And I will take Ezio out. Why not? You can have the Egyptian along with the Odyssey or whatever it was, the Greek or whatever they had that. You can lump that into Kickstarters. If this game does well, there is no end to the amount of campaign content they can add to the experience to give people what they either want or don't want, but will buy anyway because we have issues. Look at this. Look at Ezio on the tower, ready to jump off into the haystack. It's such a large system. It's such a large system. It's a game that I enjoy. V-Commandos, that is, and Assassin's Creed. Hopefully Assassin's Creed, the board game, fulfills this combination of the two. But I'm excited. I'm very excited with this one. I will have to dive in. I will have to read the rulebook, add it to my backlog, because at this point, I mean, I always have, there's two kinds of games whenever I'm playing things. Whenever I'm trying to figure out what I need to play, to cover. First of all, there's the games I actually play for fun, which you don't see those as much. I talk about them briefly in my week in review, but like this week I played, I played Canvas, I played Root, I played, Destiny's is new, I played Cyclades, I played Dogs of War. There's a bunch of games I played this week that are older games. I generally will play older games as well. I just don't talk about them as much because it's not what people are searching on the internet for. I'll occasionally do reviews of older games, although right now I'm kind of backlogged, which is why I'm only doing reviews of newer stuff. But all that's a balance. But then, past that, even with the newer stuff, there's two kinds of things. There's things like Destinies that I can jump straight into. There's things like, I don't know, Castlescape that I just reviewed, Canvas, King of 12. There's a whole bunch of games that I can just read the rulebook, it's a quick read, and then I jump straight into the game. And then there's the big ones. There's there's Dark Rituals, there's Madara, The Witcher was actually pretty quick to jump into. Great game, by the way. What else do I have that's long? I have Madara that's long. I feel I have other things that are long. But either way, there's long and short games. And I try to have only one long game at a time combined with multiple short games. If I try to do only long games, I'll never finish covering stuff. If I try to do only short games, I'll never get to the long games. So I try to have one long game simultaneous with one short game. Madara's going to have to wait. That rulebook is far more intimidating than this one. And combine that with the fact that I know V-Commandos, I know the system, it means I hope to break this one out as soon as possible. I make no guarantees, but I hope to. I want to pull this rulebook out. I want to read it. Plus, I can play it solo, which makes it accessible. I'm not going to say I expect a review soon, but I would like to get a review soon. For myself, I just need, when it comes to these campaign games, I just need to play enough that I just get a sense of the progression. I don't need to finish it, because that would take forever to get your review, but I don't know what it is. Maybe it's 3 games, maybe it's 6 games. It all depends. Chronicles of Drunagar, I needed to play through like 6 missions before I felt confident about the progression of the game and confident enough to give an opinion of the game. 2 missions, I liked it, but I wasn't sure. Wild Ascent, I played through like 5 or 6 as well. Same idea. I don't need to finish it, but I need to get a sense that what I'm telling you won't immediately be invalidated when I play 2 or 3 missions and I'm like, well, that's all there is to see and the game's over. That's been my unboxing and rambling of Assassin's Creed Brotherhood of Venice. I am a little under the weather. I'm deprived of life. I'm a little under the weather, but all things should be fine. Life is good. Too many games. That is a good problem to have, all things considered. I can't say it. I'm sorry. I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, have a good one.